All right, everybody, Dr. Imfan Akpan here, and I'm back again as promised, um, this time in a new Metaverse platform, which is called Virbela Frames. I know I was in spatial quite a bit, but I wanted to come back to Virbela. And this is actually probably the second platform that I've used, definitely the number one platform that I've used in classrooms, actually teaching. Specifically during the pandemic, I used Virbela Frames quite a bit. Got a lot of great feedback from students about it because of the engagement, sort of the gamification of it. Also, it is specifically designed for education, designed by a professor, and it's an interesting platform. So there's been a lot of developments in the platform, but what's interesting is that it keeps the focus on education, still moving to corporate education portion of things, which is also very interesting. So for those of you who are listening on the podcast, you can continue to listen. I will be talking through this. So if you do want to actually see the video, you come on over to YouTube and you'll be able to actually see what I'm talking about. But I know some of you like to listen, sort of listen in and play by play of what's happening, which is great as well. And what we're looking at right now is a actual room or frame that was created for a classroom. So similar to spatial, you can create these spaces, and they're actually, or choose environments and set them up. And when you set them up, you can add things to them and kind of put things together for a more user-friendly experience and more of a experience where you curate it and the participants who are joining your metaverse environment, they can actually really go off on their own, but you kind of control what they're going to see or what's in here. And then there's different rooms where you can actually put different experiences. So for example, here I've got a chalkboard where they can come in and start working on an assignment. Obviously, this assignment is on sales. Let me just close that out. I'm just walking through this environment with my avatar. But if you notice, there's these little rooms and spaces where participants can go in there and actually set up one-on-one conversations. So you can have your breakout room within the larger environment. So I'm going to kind of go upstairs. So there's an upstairs space. This is kind of a little bit easier to move around in than spatial. I think it's a little bit easier to kind of control. Still the same, W, Q to kind of switch around. But I thought this is pretty neat. So you're in here, you've got an upstairs area where you can go and then you can kind of look over and see what's happening in the overall room. Now, what they've added to this, which I think is pretty new or pretty neat, is they've added some AI features. And they've also added new features as well, which I think I'm going to learn about. I haven't looked over any of these features where you see this what's new. So let's just go to the menu bar here, and they have something called the AI dashboard. We'll click on that in a minute. You can transcribe the meeting. You can click and see the various frames that you have, which are sort of like templates that you've created. So if I click on one of these, this is my curated experience. It'll take me to one of those. So now I'm going to one of these curated rooms that I have set up. Now this one looks the same. It actually may be the same if I clicked on the right. Let's see. I just want to kind of back up. Yeah, it's the same room, it looks like. You can go through the frames. Let's see if this will take us to a different one. No, we're still in here. Yeah, we're still in the same one. I wanted to say, something else, but these are the. Let me try to go here because I know I had some more sort of pages to these or some more environments. There we go. That's what I thought. So this is one of my environments. And I know I was clicking on it. There it is. So I've connected. There I am. So this is another frame environment. I know I wasn't I know I wasn't going crazy, but all right, I'm not muted. Let me mute myself. So I have my mic on, so everybody who's listening can hear me. And in this room, it's a little bit different. Now, if you saw that green line, now I'm in a private space. So when you see these green lines, if you and another avatar go into that space, you can have private conversations. So this is a small, well, I guess a relatively smaller space designed to be more like an office space. In here, I did set up some activities. So that's a course syllabus that's here that you can look through. So you can pull that up on the side of your screen and read through the course syllabus. So I put that in here, which I think is pretty cool. Let me kind of get out of here. All right. So we walked out of there. So I put different activities. So there's the syllabus. Let me X out of that. And then this is a conference room. And in here, you can, again, you walked in, you can have a private space. You can add items or zooms to this video board. So if you see here, you can click here and add image or video to this, a streaming screen, put text in there, a 3D model, a web browser. So you can add all of this to this. Let me just cancel that. To this board. So you can decide to have some things in there. You can do that ahead of time, or you can do it sort of on the fly. I think I have another activity somewhere in here. Let's just go down the hall. Again, I'm going in. You hear that little noise. When I'm walking over those lines, I'm going into actually quiet one-on-one spaces. Let's see, no, there's no. I don't see another activity. So there's another conference room. I thought I had another activity in here. Maybe not. Maybe not. All right, well, let's kind of see what's happening over here. And I think it's pretty neat because, okay, I'm going back to where we started it. I think it's pretty neat because you can have these experiences, and imagine if you're teaching a class, the students can go all over and all around in this environment, and there we go. There's something right there. So they can go and interact with all of these items. So this is pretty amazing. So I really want to know what you think about this. What are your thoughts? What do you think about Virbela Frames? Would you use something like this? Let me know.